Hi, I'm Felix from Baqend, and we make the internet faster. So we all know that slow page load times really suck, but it is astonishing what impact they have on businesses. For example, Amazon found that if they lose only 100 milliseconds of page load time, their revenue goes back by 1%, which at the size of Amazon means they lose 1.3 billion US dollar per year. Or Google, who realized that if their site loads half a second slower, then 20% of the visitors will drop out and think, well, maybe I could have looked it up in a book anyway. So these studies show that page load time is heavy money. And I personally have always hated it when websites are slow to load. So I asked myself, how can we make the internet great again? So Baqend is a cloud service for building websites and apps, like, for example, Firebase and Parse, but much faster and much more scalable. So how does this feel in practice? Here we see a typical website loaded from locations all over the world. And what we compare here is the page load time of a backend-based website against the major competitors in the backend as a service space. And what we see is that backend consistently loads below half a second and is more than 15 times faster than the competition. So to put that into some perspective, that is, as if your next flight from Helsinki to San Francisco doesn't take you 11 hours, but you're there after 40 minutes. So you previously saw the studies, and you can imagine what this kind of improvement would mean for e-commerce. And this does not only work in benchmarks, so you can test that on the website, but it also works in practice. For example, we recently had a backend-based shop, one of our customers, featured in a famous German TV show, and they got 300,000 users in a very short amount of time, and still the website loaded very fast and had an awesome conversion rate of 7.8% and was 10 times faster than Amazon. In fact, while most of the competitors in that show went offline and out of business, our customers went out of stock. So to wrap it up, Baqend is a software as a service for faster web development. We are a spin-off from database research at the University of Hamburg. We are backed by 20 man-years of research, numerous publications and 3 PhD theses, and our major USP in performance is built to equal parts on deep reinforcement learning, probabilistic cache data structures, and massive amounts of coffee. So what we give you is 3 important advantages. First, we make your websites load much faster, boosting the satisfaction of your users. Second, we take care of scalability and high availability of the cloud service, so you don't need to be afraid of your own success. And lastly, we simplify backend development so your developers have time to catch some fresh air. So in summary, our vision is a web without loading times, and we want to give you the technical tool to achieve that. Thank you.
To me, it sounds similar to a company called Varnish. Are you aware of a company called Varnish?
Yes, we're built on that technology partly.
You built on their technology?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're kind of a refinement of that classic technology for caching websites.
Yeah.
And what we do is we cache data all over the internet on existing infrastructures from web caches like Varnish. But what we add on top is the ability to keep data always consistent. So each time data is updated, we can push the new data on the edge within a few hundred milliseconds, and users will never see outdated data. And that's the difference to Varnish.
Thank you.
And your customers are who? Who do you sell to?
We sell to anyone who builds performance-critical websites, which in particular is e-commerce, who are very performance-critical, any kind of software company, startups. So we have, for example, customers in the e-commerce space, social networks, and basically anyone who needs websites.
Thank you.
Thanks.